folks, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, if any of you guys celebrate it, happy Valentine's Day. I thought, inspired by the fact that it's Valentine's Day and the fact that I am kind of coming to this weird realization that I think pink is my favorite colour. This snuck up on me. I seem to be gravitating to pink a lot. I have more jumpers, sweaters that are pink than in any other colour, which is just kind of weird. Like, my glasses are pink, all my stationery that I use is pink. And yeah, I think I kind of have to accept that, despite growing up, I was, especially like in my uni years and things, I was like, oh no, not pink, pink's too girly. I've had to accept that pink is a colour I enjoy, and I'm here for it, so we're embracing it. So I thought what I would do is I picked out some books. So I've got a selection of 8 books that all have pink covers. 4 I've read and can recommend, and 4 that are currently sitting on my TBR shelves. Which is, yeah, we're going to talk about the TBR shelves. So should we get into it? So I'll try not make this one too long. But the first one, Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I adore this particular cover series. I've got a couple, I think I've got another like 2 in this particular edition. I just think they're so pretty. Also, look, I got the blur thing sorted out. Go me, yay. But yes, Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This is a story of Catherine Morland, who goes to visit cousin, I think, or Bath, and she has an obsession with sort of like gothic novels and a bit of an overactive imagination that does kind of lead her to getting into trouble. She, throughout the story, is continuously jumping to conclusions, but thankfully she's got people who, temper her, like balance her out. And yeah, she is definitely one of Austen's younger protagonists, but this one, I first read this one when I was very early uni, so I was probably like just the right age. Not that you need to be a specific age, as Jane Austen, you can read her at any time in your life, but I read her at an age where, yeah, I think I connected with Catherine, so pretty pink cover. Next up, perfect for Valentine's Day, we have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. Do I need to say much about this one? This was Ali's second STEM romance, which follows, because we all know I'm terrible with names at this point. Is it Marie? No, B. Yeah, sorry. This follows Bee and Levi. Bee has just been offered a job at NASA, working in the neuroscience division, creating like a fancy helmet thing. I'm not gonna lie, the science went a bit over my head. It's not really overly important that you understand the science though, is it? And yeah, the standard Ali Hazelwood miscommunication tropes. She thinks he can't stand her, he's secretly in love with her. It's all great. There is sort of like shenanigans ensuing, sabotage happening, gotta figure out who's trying to, ruin the project. And obviously, at times we've got forced proximity and the whole host of tropes that Ali does enjoy. If you enjoy any of her other work, you will enjoy this one. And if you enjoy a trashy romance, you'll enjoy Ali Hazelwood. The next one, I read this one last year, towards the end of last year, I think. I honestly can't remember when I read this one. Definitely last year. I actually really enjoyed this one. And I say that like it's a surprise and that I don't enjoy any of the books I recommend you guys. Because, yeah, I'm totally going to recommend you guys a book I don't like. But hey ho, go me. But this one is Thank You for Listening by Julia Whelan. This one was really interesting because Julia Whelan is an audiobook narrator herself, and this is the novel she's written, where our main characters are audiobook narrators. So it was really interesting to sort of like get that insight, to know that when she's describing things, it's like, yeah, she's not just making this up. There's a good chance that this like is, always take it with a pinch of salt, but there is a good chance that this is kind of how it goes. Our main character, Swanee, used to be, she was like an up and coming actress, but there was unfortunately an accident that left her kind of scarred and disfigured. She lost an eye, and she's now just in a position where she's really self-conscious of how she appears, all of which is tackled. So she goes into audiobook narration. She starts off in the world of romance, narrating romance books, which is where a lot of people start off, but has since branched out and sort of like moved up in the world, I guess, and she's doing a lot more sort of like literary fiction. But as a favour, sort of like a one last hurrah, an author who she did a lot of narration for passes away, and she agrees to narrate the one last novel in that series. But she ends up co-narrating it with Brock McKnight, which is just like the ultimate rom-com male narrator name, right? She ends up narrating with him and getting to know him back and forth. Thing is that they had previously had a one-night stand, and so we know that there's a bit of chemistry there, and we're dealing with that. But Julia also gets into different themes, and sort of like, this is not just a straight up rom-com, it is that bit more serious, dare I say. In the background of all of this, we are dealing with family fallouts and the heartbreaking, difficult decisions that you have to make when elderly loved ones are maybe not coping quite as well as we'd like them to be, or we wish they were, and you know, they definitely like, they need more help, and it's hard to make that decision and say you need to be in a dementia wing rather than a real elderly wing and that sort of stuff. So if you are looking for something a bit deeper that really tugs at your heartstrings, thank you for listening. Absolutely brilliant. And then last of the books I have read, for anyone who is out there who's maybe just feeling a little anti-Valentine's Day, does the sight of all of this pink incite its murderous rage in you? I have a recommendation for you. How to Kill Your Family. I couldn't resist taking this one, including this one. It was such a fun read. I actually read this 2 years ago at Easter when I was visiting my family. I don't think they took the hint. But yeah, this is basically the story. Our main character, Grace, is writing sort of like her memoir from prison, where she's been put away for a murder she did not commit, and she's kind of salty about this, as we all would be, but maybe not in the way that we would be. Yeah, she's like, I'm kind of pissed off. Why the hell am I being jailed for this murder that I did not commit? Like, if I'm going to be here, it may as well be for the murders I actually did commit, so let me tell you about those. This is how she systematically, one by one, basically picks off members of her biological father's side of the family, because he did her mum bad. He did. He was a bit of a dick. And she's like, nah, he needs to be taken down a peg or two. So she takes him down a peg or two by picking off his family. Absolutely brilliant. At times, pacing can be a bit squiffy, so bear that in mind. But yeah, if you just want like a really silly thriller, it's not even a thriller because you know exactly what's happening. But if you just want like a really fun read, How to Kill Your Family. And then, briefly, because you know, I don't have enough on my TBR shelf, and I don't have enough books to talk about. These are 4 books that are sitting, I'm not gonna lie, they're sitting actually, all 4 of them are sitting pretty high up my TBR, like as in, like my priority. Like they're all kind of speaking to me saying, I kind of want to read all of you pretty soon. So the first one is one I've actually borrowed from a friend, and that is Mary Poppins. I've seen Mary Poppins, I've seen the Mary Poppins remake, I've seen Saving Mr. Banks, but I've never actually read the book. I do know that this is not the original film, which is the one I think we all think about, is not the most faithful adaptation. I know there are some major differences, and I am really excited to see what they are. It is a children's book, so it's not going to take me too long to read. And yeah, what more do I need to say? It's Mary Poppins. She comes in, she looks after the children. Shenanigans and magic ensues, but not magic. I guess this is magical realism, maybe. Yeah, dreams happen. Yes, Maisie. Yes. The next one, this is the latest book I got from Mr. B's. This was actually on my Amazon wishlist as well, so good choice, Mr. B's. Henry is well and truly into his redemption arc. Henry is the guy at Mr. B's who picks my book subscriptions, and there was a period where he wasn't doing badly, but he just wasn't doing as good. But we're fully back in the redemption arc. But yes, anyway, that is The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. This is a sci-fi, and it's basically, from what I can tell, because I really want to go into this one as blind as possible, so all I really know is that a new species of octopus has been found that is highly intelligent, and that various nations are kind of fighting over it. Over sort of like who gets to claim it and take possession of it. It's kind of like one of those, like, actually this would be like a huge asset to our nation type things. But nobody asked the octopus what they want. So the octopus start doing something about it, possibly? I don't know. I have a fond spot for books with octopuses in them. I do want to, at some point, maybe make a video recommendation list, at least like a year or so down the line, of like, here are all the books with octopuses that I've enjoyed. Because there's a couple of them so far. But yeah, that's that one. Next, she's already been mentioned today, but Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is the only Ali Hazelwood, with the exception of the novellas, that I've not read yet, so I know I'm going to get to this pretty soon. I say the only one I've not read. I'm currently reading Bride, but you'll hear all my thoughts about that next video. But yeah, this is her first venture into YA romance, and all I kind of really know is that it's a rivals to lovers set to the backdrop of chess competitions. I think she kind of stumbles into a chess competition and kind of wins. She's an amateur, and so it's very unexpected, and then starts to realise that, oh, actually I can get money for winning, and I think she possibly needs to support her family, so she continues doing that. But obviously by doing so, she ruffles feathers along the way of those who are like maybe a bit more practiced. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I got for it. And then the last one is Juno Dawson's Her Majesty's Royal Coven. A Secret Coven of Witches, modern day setting, whose main point and reason of existence is to protect the crown and its assets. That's all I know. I know it's really hyped. I know a lot of people are saying a lot of really good things about it. Again, I think it's another one where if I go into this blind with minimal expectations, I'm going to get the most out of it. So I do just want to go into this as blind as possible. But there we have it. 4 books with pink covers that I have read and very much recommend, and 4 books with pink covers that are on my anticipated TBR. What do you think? Have you read any of these, whether they're the ones I've read or not? Do you have any further recommendations for me? Have you read any of the ones on my TBR? Let me know your thoughts. And once again, happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.